Hey, gun people. Let me just, everybody's always giving me crap because I'm cracking on liberals, and I say things that are mean, that hurt their feelings, like they really have no morals or ethics, and they don't care how they vote, and they don't care about people. They only care about the power and control, which most politicians, people confuse when I crack on liberals that I somehow think other politicians are perfect or great. And no matter what it is, whether it's cops, firemen, military, politicians, you're going to have some who are better, and you're going to have probably a lot more that are crap. So anyway, it really just shows to me the credibility of a party. Because when Republicans mess up, the Republicans will turn on you in a second and say you need to resign, you need to quit. They're always kicking people out. The libs, no matter what you do, they stand by their man. They're 100% loyal. People crack on cops for having a blue line. Well, let me tell you, the blue line in the Liberal Party is a hell of a lot stronger than the blue line in cops, because those lefts don't ever crack on anybody on the left. So for me to watch Joe Biden, with all his stuff, I almost kind of feel sorry for the guy, because I kind of think he's not all there, and people are just putting him up because he's popular, because he was a VP, because he's their man. Kind of like Hillary. She was having all those medical issues, couldn't walk down the stairs, couldn't get out of a car by herself, and people were standing by her no matter what. And now Biden can't even keep his thoughts together, and some of his gaffes are kind of funny. And look, I make a lot of videos, and I'm always using the wrong word or flipping my words, or, saying his lips licked or licked his lips, or, when I'm talking about my horses, and I get all kind of crap. So I get there's gaffes, but this guy kind of seems like he's losing it a little bit to where he can't even remember. Just watch it and make your own opinion. Let's see here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Biden.
Look, tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to
Okay, Super Thursday. Most people know Super Tuesday. I've never known there to be a Super Thursday. Maybe there was a day we voted on a Thursday, but for as far back as I can remember, Tuesday was the day to vote. Is this an honest mistake? Yeah, could be.
thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? 150 million people.
Okay, people. The U.S. has about 300, I want to say 320, it could be, it's over 300 million people. In the entire United States, there's 300 million people. He's just said 150 million people are going to be killed or have been killed by gunfire. He is saying that half of the country was killed by gunfire. And there's no outrage, there's no media coverage from anybody except Tucker here, pointing out that this guy, it's one thing to make a gaffe, but 150, I could see maybe him saying 150,000, it was maybe 1,500 or 15,000, but half of the country, he's saying, was killed by guns.
Have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability.
Okay, so half of the world's country, half of the U.S.'s population was killed by gunfire, according to this guy. I want you to look at Bernie Sanders. He didn't even catch it. Their other top candidate didn't even catch that. Dude, you said 150 million? There's only 300 million in the whole United States. You just said half the population was killed. Are you freaking crazy? No. The top two candidates, neither one of them caught it.
2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers.
Look at Bernie's like, hang on, I got something free I want to give away. Hang on, Bernie's going to give something free away. Yay! The government, they're giving free stuff away. We love them. It's so great. Unfreaking believable.
Some liability. It would put 720 million women back in the workforce.
720 million. So there's only 300 million in the U.S., people. And somehow their top candidate, the sharpest guy that the left can put up, is talking about putting 720 million women back to work. That's double the population of the U.S., nothing but women. And he's saying his plan is going to put them back to work. And there's people cheering and clapping, and they don't even know. That's how uneducated the left is, and that's how they never hold their politicians accountable. I mean, it's kind of sad that these are the people that run most of the major cities into the ground, bankrupting, wanting programs. They're making decisions about the majority of the people. They believe that only they should have guns and you pesky citizens shouldn't. I mean, it is really scary.
Force. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime.
Nobody should be in jail for nonviolent crime. So, when these people rip off people, this is called a lot of white-collar crime. When people steal people's fortunes and steal from pension plans and manipulate the stock market and all crime that is nonviolent, you shouldn't go to jail. So if I walk into a store and pick up a TV and walk out and don't use violence, I shouldn't go to jail. If I test drive a car at a car lot and never return the car, I shouldn't go to jail because it's nonviolent. This is what they will say anything to get elected. And what's sad is over half the country, and that's half the 300 million people, over half the country agrees, likes, supports, and has no problem with these people. Wow. Man, people don't think America's in trouble? You better be buying more guns and ammo, people.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. What's not to like
What's
about
not to like about
Vermont?
Vermont? Well, a lot of things. But when you tell people in New Hampshire that you're in Vermont, somebody may get a clue and say, dude, you're in the wrong state. Well, Rick, he's busy, and he's holding a press conference at a stop sign. And he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people here. Well, maybe there's 7 microphones. Maybe this is all the media. Rick, you can't say that. You weren't there. I wasn't there.
Beauty of it, and what a neat town. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
Your record player on at night. Is it just me? Am I the only guy out here that doesn't own a record player anymore? I used to own a record player. Man, I had the top of the line Hushiwana or Tishimi or Toshiba or whatever the top of the line was back in the day when I was in the military when stereos were big. I had it. But I don't have a turntable now. I'm sorry. I don't know. And I call it a turntable. I guess that's even more advanced. We got to call it a record player. Anybody know when the last time a record was freaking sold? I mean, do they even still sell records in stores? Because I think after records, we went to 8-track. After 8-track, we went to cassette tapes. After cassette tapes, we went to freaking CDs. And now we're on iPod and internet and everything else. This guy's still talking about telling everybody to turn on their record player. Are you freaking kidding me? Rick, he didn't say that. Okay.
Make sure the television, make sure you have the record.
I'm just making this up. I just hate the left and I make stuff up like they do.
Player on at night. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. We choose science over fiction.
Okay.
We choose truth over facts.
So when you choose truth over facts, that means that you get to make up the truth, and what you believe is true is more important than facts. Now, I happen to think he's being honest here, because there's a lot of things that are factually 100% wrong that the left always says, but they pass it off as truth. And they're ignorant, dumbed down, government-educated, government-run school, government-run liberal schools, run by the left schools. Those schools that teach your children how to think are now adults and voting, and you wonder why they don't know what's wrong and why they don't have a problem with this. Okay, I had to dub this in because my recorder kind of put the talking past the other one. So let's listen to this.
We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created
thing. This is kind of sad. I mean, to me, this isn't like I got the dates mixed up. I got Tuesday and Thursday mixed up. I got the country that 720 million women are going to work. Somebody can say those are numbers, but he just totally well, you know the thing. That thing that those pesky little things that people say. You know what?
Evident. All men and women created.
If you look his eyes, he looks. I think this guy just
thing.
realized that, man, this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy has no emotion. I'm just standing here because I look good behind the president. I don't know. Did any of these people look like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Does any of them look upset? This guy kind of looks a little like, dude, are you freaking all here?
Facts. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Are you freaking kidding me? Rick, you shouldn't laugh at him. He's got Well, see, that's the problem with the liberal left in this PC is you can't hold people accountable. You can't say that somebody has a problem. You can't say that somebody's not as smart as someone else. They want him to get a participation trophy and be president because he's not as smart as everybody, because he makes mistakes, because you can't say that he isn't all there mentally, Rick, because that's just mean. And you're picking on him, and you're brain shaming, and you're using that mean word they used to call retarded or whatever the word is of the day that you can't say anymore, and they have to have a kind word about it now. Mentally challenged, follically challenged, height challenged. Everything's a challenge. Nothing's accountability anymore. It's just everybody's challenged to get their participation trophy.
It's Super Thursday, and he's running for the United States Senate in memory.
Oh, that's another thing that he just said that brought up. He's running for president and vice president, but now he just announced that he's running for the Senate while he's running for president. So in case he loses president, he can win in the Senate. So, and again, you know what the left will say? We don't have a problem with that. As long as we have somebody up there with no sense that will push our stupid agendas, that will promise us free stuff, and that will say we're better off because of them and will tell us who to hate, the left doesn't care. Man, people go like, Rick, the right's no better than the left. Well, you know what? Damn. If I'm sinking in the ocean and I got to choose between grabbing a life raft and a freaking anchor, I'm going to choose the life raft. I got a better chance. All right, well, that there. Okay, I decided to put the whole thing in without any cuts because my Screencast-O-Matic crap editor looks like it overlaid and kind of messed up my audio when it put it on top of my audio instead of when I paused it. So I'm just going to play this straight through without anything so people can just see his words the way he's doing it so they don't think I'm cutting and taping it.
Tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. It would put 720 million women back in the workforce. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. What's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? And what a neat town. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Yep, that's the man.